Alrighty. Just realised that entire time I had 2 tabs open, so you're probably hearing double the music. Just one was a bit quieter in the background, so that's a bit awkward. Either way. Alright, so we've got some packs to review today, apparently. Or a pack to review. My mic even on? It is, okay. Can't have me talking to myself. Yeah, I don't know, double the weight. Yeah, I don't really know the thing about this pack. That's the wrong one. There you go. Yeah, so got a few cards to look at. Not really sure about this pack though. It's a bit sus. No tier element, just the Ishizu stuff beforehand. Whereas in IRL it was released the other way around, right? Which is a bit weird. We're getting the stuff that made the other stuff really good. I don't know. In both TG and OG got tiers first? That's what I thought. I thought this stuff was what made it like tier 0. It's kind of weird to get it now, beforehand. Are tournaments on their own good? Yes. They were good before Ishizu. Ishizu just made them better. But is Ishizu's good on its own? No. There's probably something we can stick them and just stuff them in a Emancipator or something. Though I actually haven't read, I think I've like vaguely read like 2 of the Ishizu cards and I don't remember what they did, so I'm actually finally gonna actually read these cards and learn what they do. As well as all these other cards in here, this card pool of stuff. Only 2 extra deck monsters being released, what the hell? Get ready to build G-Golem? What the hell is a G-Golem? I've never heard of that archetype. Like, what is this thing? What even is it? These things? What do they even do? Well, I guess that's what this stream's for, to find out. Alright, ready to start? Yeah, how many people we got? Let's start looking at cards yet? Pack looks mid. It does look pretty mid, I'll be honest. But then again, I haven't actually read the cards, so I should probably read them first. Alright. I assume since the Ishizu stuff's probably the most exciting stuff, we'll just start at the bottom and then we'll go to the top. So we'll start down here and go upwards. And we'll end with whatever this thing is. Hell are you? I have no idea what that card is. Right, I'm going to start reviewing cards, so I'm kind of bored. Alright. So let's have a look at some of these cards. So it's a bit different when I review these cards when I review cards in Duel Links, because when I review cards in Duel Links, it's going into like a completely new format and no one knows if they're going to be good or not, whereas these cards, everyone probably already knows in the TCG if they're good or bad or not, so yeah. It's more of me learning what the cards do rather than me telling you if they're good or not, because you can probably just find out from just whatever chat says if they're good or not. So it's more me just trying to learn what the hell these cards do. When does it come out? 3 days. Literally 3 days away. G-Golem's alright, is in like Therion levels. But isn't Therion really good because it can just be stuffed into a bunch of different decks? I don't think I've ever seen G-Golem in anything. Whereas Therion I've seen in a bunch of things. Like I don't expect to see G-Golem in any tournament stuff, right? Unless you're talking about pure Therion. Ishizu without tier is air? That's what I've heard. But like, there's just not. That's just what broke the deck, right? Then again, that's what came out afterwards. So, in IRL. Alright, let's start going through some cards. Alright. The first card we've got is G-Golem Dignified Trilithon. Okay. 2+ Earth monsters. Your opponent monster must attack this card. 32! Oh, to link 4! Oh, this guy's a boss monster, okay. Giga Chad. Okay. 3200 attack. Okay. Once per battle, before damage calculation, this card battles an opponent's monster. Quick effect, you can send 1 Earth monster from your hand to the graveyard until the end of that opponent's monster loses 200 attack. That's it? Or is it negates effects? It's just minus 200 attack? Okay. That's oddly specific. But I guess it's probably some earth monsters you want to send to the grave. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a link monster you control, you can negate its effect if you do destroy that card. Alright, so... pretty amusing card. It's not going to do literally anything. I think something that stops targeting negate is absolutely pointless. Stops like you getting impermed, and that's about it. Everything else is sort of, yeah, targeting stuff, so I assume no one's going to care about this so far. This is not the spice we're looking for on the G-Golems, alright? Link 4 though, big Giga Chad boss. Send Freight Crane Guy? Who the fuck is Freight Crane Guy? I feel like that card name isn't specific enough for me to look it up, but let's try. Freight? Huh? Because to be supporting Master Duel on my life? Is that what that is? I'm so hyped, I can't wait to skip on this selection. Hey, the Crystal Beast support actually looks nuts. Look at this. Actually, look at this. I was looking up, because generally I do this before most new releases, just to see if anyone's topping with this stuff. And Crystal Beast, surprisingly, I thought it was just absolute garbage, but apparently, despite only being like 4 months old or whatever it is, it has quite a few toppings. It's like, they're all actually the fairly decent looking deck list too. Like, people playing actual 40 card deck list, Pog. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to the actual Crystal Beast cards. But yeah, Crystal Beast actually looks like they're getting some good shit out of this pack. No meme. Whereas this card I've never heard in my life, so... In fact, you know what, let's see if any... I didn't give G-Golem a chance, okay? Maybe there's some G-Golems out there who've been topping some tournaments and I've never heard of them before. Wait. Okay. Okay. Well, that's not a good sign. OCG meta. G-Golem's pure... Oh, meta deck list? Wait a minute. Wait, what the hell's a Pearly? Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, moving on. Let's learn what this card does. Let's scroll down a little bit. G-Golem Invalid Dolmen. Okay. 2+ Earth monsters. Your co-linked monsters are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent's on your opponent's field. Okay. Dude, co-linking these two would be sick. Your opponent's monsters must attack this card if able. Okay. Once per turn, you can discard one Cyberse monster, draw one card. If this co-linked card is destroyed, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. Right. That'd be kind of amusing to link these two together, just co-link them together. That's a lot of materials, but not a whole lot of stuff. I guess it does sound pretty good, though. So you get Raigeki, then you just... in Ultimate Depression. A good link card in its own archetype. Has anyone in the chat, literally anyone at all, ever played G-Golem? Anyone? Put your hands up. Anyone in chat ever played this archetype? Or at least, like, seen what it does? Is there anybody? Because, like, it's gonna be a... No! Oh, no. MSC made a video, but has anyone seen the video? You saw... Okay, one person's at least seen the video. What does a typical end board for this deck look like? What are we ending on? Like, does it typically end on, like, these two cards linked together or something? Let's see this MBT video. Let's see G-Golem. Alright, MBT. Thank you. But, alright, where's your actual... I don't see a deck list. I want to see some gameplay. Where's it? What's your end board? Alright, I see a Math Mech. Okay. I think Math Mech's cheating. You might as well just play actual Math Mech. That's just cheating at that point. Okay! Firewall... Oh! Bruh, Firewall co-linked with the thing that makes it unaffected and this dude on field in one turn? That's actually kind of crazy. Holy inboard. Okay, what else we got? Is that like a typical end board, or is that just a lucky hand? Let's see, what we end on with this one? Alright. Oh my, Heat Soul as well? Wait a minute. Wait, this deck's actually kind of cracked. 3-card combo, by the way? Oh, I see. What does he do? What does he do to set up this board? Alright, let's have a look. We'll speed run it, because we ain't got time for this shit. Alright, what are you doing? Alright, so does both these combos just start with him opening the Math Mech card? If so, that is hella bullshit. Okay, both to start with him grabbing that card, right? Oh no, he didn't start it for this one. Alright, this is probably more realistic then. Alright, let's do this for this one. Obviously someone just opening the Math Mech card and doing that. That sounds pretty cringe. I don't see going second either. I was going first here, buddy. Come on. Yeah, I actually think might have already lost interest in this deck, but we'll see. No, I don't want to see opening thingo. What's your next duel? Oh my god, he opened it again in the next game! Stop opening the Math Mech, that's cheating. Okay, so 2 out of the 3 gameplays he opened the Math Mech starter. Okay, well, I guess this is just open circular, or just don't play, I guess. Alright, move on to the next card. Golem Stubborn Menhir. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one earth monster in your graveyard that can be normal summoned or set, add it to your hand, or special summon it. But if you special summon it, negates effects. Also banish it when it leaves the field. From your graveyard. Okay, I guess that's alright, because I assume you're just bringing it back with the typical Cyberse dudes, which I've completely forgotten the name of. The easiest way to find them is just go down here and find this one. These dudes. Your transcode or your splash mage. Yeah. Which is splash mage negates its effects, never mind. Transcode doesn't though. Just bring back with transcode, call it a day. Which isn't bad, because adding stuff back to hand's not bad. So I assume this is just a link climbing card. Nothing too special. So food for Exo Sister, true. That can be normal summoned or set. Is that particularly important? Isn't that particularly important? So just summoning transcode, bringing back this dude, and he adds back your normal summon, probably. No, Fluffy, there's not. Not appreciate the G-Golem engine in MathMech. Are you sure it's a G-Golem engine in MathMech, or is it a MathMech engine in G-Golem? which part of the deck's carrying it here? The MathMechs or the G-Golems? Shit set, then it does seem that way. Yes. Alright. He doesn't summon links? Yeah, that's fine, because I'm pretty sure you just bring back the normal summon with this. It's not even summon. Yeah, you just bring back the normal summon. That's what's important about it. Alright. G-Golem Crystal Hearts. This is like the equivalent of the Marine Cess one. Does it do the same thing? You can target 2 Earthlink monsters in your graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to. Oh, sorry, 1 Earthlink, sorry. And if you do, place 1 G-Golem counter on this card. Is the link 1? It's not link 2. You only use Fates of G-Golem onto a turn. An Earth monster co-linked to this card gains 600 attack for each G-Golem counter on this card. You may second attack during each battle phase. And this card seems pretty good for climbing as well, because it brings back this dude, who then brings back another dude. That's pretty sick. Okay. So I'm getting the feeling this archetype is actually not too bad in terms of just how it functions, just the fact it doesn't have like a decent end board. Like a strong end board. Until you just stuff MathMech in there. Because actually the actual like summoning mechanics seem pretty good. It doesn't lock you to like earth monsters or anything in particular, does it? No, I don't see any like... Yeah, it doesn't lock you to, like, Earth or anything, so you just go into just giant Link 4s, so... Seems like whatever you're doing with it, it's probably not too bad. I think the probably major downside of the deck is you just have to think, do I want to play this version of Cyberse or play the non-shit version of Cyberse? It's probably the only, like, problem with it. Because there's so many different, like, Cyberse decks out there that, like, why would you play this one in particular is the issue. But it doesn't seem like it's a bad deck. It seems like it'll be functional. I'll probably give it a go. If these cards aren't, like, all ultra rares and shit. If half the cards in this deck are ultra rare, then I'll focus on something else. Alright, let's move on to the other stuff, I think. Wait, you can't use Heart to go up to another G Golem? You can't use Heart? Why? Is it because it's, oh, because it's water? Ah, I see. That's a weird... okay. So it's just encouraging you not to play the G-Golem stuff. That's kind of weird. That's a weird way to design your archetype, Konami. This is like encouraging you to just play things outside of the archetype, which is kind of cringe. That's terrible card design, in my opinion. It's like, hey, here's some cool boss monsters. Go play generics instead. It's like... I really don't like that kind of design. That's awful. I know there's like some sort of balancing thing where they're trying to make it so that you can't climb into these easy, but that just seems like... I guess I'm going to go play Firewall Dragon or something instead, or whatever. Either way. Alright. Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. Okay, that's a name. 1 Ultimate Crystal Monster plus 7 Crystal Beast monsters. Alright, is this going to be a meme card? Is this going to join the club of the other Crystal Beast dudes, whatever the name is? The club of meme cards over here. Hey, where's the other Rainbow Dragon? There's another one. Is it not called Rainbow Dragon? There's another fusion, isn't there? I swear there's another fusion. What's its name? This dude. Rainbow Over Dragon. Close enough. Alright, how are we summoning this ridiculous card? And is it any better than the other junk we have already? Must be special summoned from your extra deck. During a duel, you special summoned an ultimate crystal monster by banishing the above monsters from your field and or graveyard. Okay, that's a bit easier to do. Also, it's important to note 7 crystal beast monsters, but doesn't specify them having different names, right? While 7 or more of your crystal beast monsters' different names are banished, this card gains 7,000 attack. Gains 7,000 attack. That's okay. That's a number. If this card is not battled this turn, quick effect, you contribute this card, shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, and if you do, special summon any number of your banished crystal beast monsters. Alright. Well, it's cool, I guess. But, I'm spoiler alert, I've already seen the, we'll just bring them up again. I've already seen what the Crystal Beast deck's gonna look like after this stuff, and, this is not what you're playing. This is like some anime meme video stuff you might see on YouTube. If you want to play actual competitive Crystal Beast, it's gonna look a lot more floodgatey, I'm afraid. Yeah. And a lot of them are actually playing a small little math mech package. But to be fair, that doesn't matter too much. It's only like 3 cards, and you're basically just doing it to get a hold of this dude here. Yeah. As you can see, like, no big Rainbow Dragon boss monster in any of the tournament tops, I'm afraid. This one's a pure list, no math mech at all. Most of the time with this deck, you're going to be getting a hold of Floodgates with one of your trap cards as you search for things like Necro Valley. And then you just use Crystal Conclave to absolutely just control the game. It's going to be a control deck. Also, things like Shifter in here and blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of them are playing, that can only be 1 as well. So yeah, I'm afraid this card, although it's kind of cool, its condition is a little bit too slow for Master Duel, I guess. For a whole lot of not doing a whole lot, really. That's to get 7 Crystal Beast monsters banished. Banishing them, I guess it does banish them itself. 7 Crystal Beast monsters, bruh. Like, honestly, this card isn't that hard to isn't that hard to summon, but it's just not, like, in terms of, competitively, if it's hard to summon, like, it's so much harder than just playing, you know, your normal summon of Alistair the Invoked, alright? Like, this card is just, it's too much of a condition. But I wouldn't say it's impossible, at least. I think the upside of this card, compared to the other Crystal Beast boss monster, like the beforehand, like this fucking thing here, and like the other one, like at least this card's usable. Like, these other cards are so shit. Still not great though, but at least it's just not as shit as these guys were. Also, it's nice that when this one removes itself, it actually summons Crystal Beast back. I don't think these ones even summon them back. Yeah, shove all cards on the field into the deck. This one at least brings out Crystal Beast monsters to replace them. We busted wasn't hard to summon, true. But yeah, it's nothing to worry about this card. We'll talk more about the actual Crystal Beast control stuff when we, at the end, I guess. We'll go through some of the decks. Some example decks. Alright, Gem Knight Lady Rose Diamond. Talk about a card that's going to end up being completely worthless. The first time a this takes 1 Gem Knight monster plus 1 fairy monster. The first time a Gem Knight monster control be destroyed by a card effect except during your opponent's turn, it is not destroyed. When your opponent activates a monster effect during your turn, quick effect, you can banish 1 Gem Knight card from your graveyard and target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. So, you might hear this card and think it sounds really good. And honestly, you're not wrong, the card actually doesn't sound that bad. But the problem with it is, it doesn't help what Gem Knight does. Gem Knight, I'm sure everyone in chat is probably well aware, it's an FTK deck. And this card, by reading its card effect, I don't see any burn damage in there. I don't see anything that seems to be duplicating my card effects in graveyard. I don't see any, this doesn't help Gem Knight's strategy. It's like, cool, if you want to try to play some sort of weird version of Gem Knight, going second or something. But it's just not what Gem Knight does. It's an FTK deck. So if the cards released don't help the FTK strat, unless it turns out that there's just some like insane release that makes the deck insanely consistent in just doing something else, then it's going to be completely worthless. So it's cool and all, but it just doesn't do anything. So it's cool. I'm sure there'll be people that like to play Gem Knights in a non-FTK way, like all 2 of them out there. And for them, congrats guys, you got a new card. But it's not. Yeah, unfortunately we're not FTKing, so no one's really gonna care. It's made for the Gem Knight Konami wants us to play. How about you just like make it harder for us to OTK then through some like bans, and then maybe we'll play something else. To be fair, I don't really want to play the FTK version, because the FTK version is like a massive spreadsheet on how to perform the FTKs, and I really can't be bothered trying to learn them all for a video. That just sounds like absolute arse cheeks to learn. The spreadsheet is massive. I can't be bothered trying to pull it up. Hang on, let me can I be bothered trying to pull up this spreadsheet? I really can't. I'm not gonna bother. But it's gigantic, and I can't be bothered going through it all. But I might have to make a video on this deck, so I don't know. Alright, Crystal Miracle. Now here's a card that's actually good. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control, and if you do, negate the activation. If you do that, destroy that card. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone while this card is in your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can banish this card, place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell. Yes, this card's actually really good. Because it's searchable, and it's a negate. What more can you really want from that? It's just a searchable negate. And the fact is that, like, people that haven't played Crystal Beast before, the whole point of your cards being destroyed doesn't really matter, because you use them as resources in your spell and trap card zone. So you'll summon out whatever Crystal Beast you have. Normally it's going to be your Pegasus. You can show up here. There it is. Normally your Pegasus. this card will pop it, put it in its spell and trap card zone, and then you'll use that for your Conclave to then remove your opponent's stuff. So yeah, these cards are really good, really good. Also, it helps drastically for a deck that's going to be so reliant on its back row to have something to stop things like Feather Dusters and Lightning Storms. Because this deck is going to be heavily reliant on back row. Because basically Conclave... It's called Conclave Control, whatever. Yeah, it's called Conclave Control. This card is literally, like, makes the deck. So your opponent has, like, a Lightning Storm or something to get rid of it. It's pretty troll. So it's nice to have something that stops that. Confirmed it's going to be ultra rare. Yeah, decent card. Chuck it in the ultra rare category. That'll cost you $600. To be fair, you only need one copy of it though, because it's searchable and you're only searching one. So it is a one-off. So it's not too bad, even if it was high rarity. I prefer this to be higher rarity than some of the other cards, to be fair. Alright, next up. Crystal Brilliance. You can only control one Crystal Brilliance. Crystal Beast monsters you control gain attack equal to their original defense. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, even during the damage step, you send this face-up card from your spell and trap into their ground. Spell summon Crystal Beast monster in your hand. Ugh. Also, any damage you take... Surely no one's playing this, right? This card seems awful. What does it do? Ugh. It's like attack buffing. How's it even summoned from deck? Oh. I guess it's a monster reborn. I guess. You want to keep that keep those topping deck lists up just so I can see them as like see if people are actually playing this card, because I feel like nobody's playing it. It seems so bad. All it needs to do is summon Kanabako? Is that like the boss dude? Is anyone playing it? Nope. No. Yeah, no, it seems like a card you wouldn't play. Yeah, no one's playing it. Not a surprise. Does seem pretty bad. Alright. Gravekeeper's Trap. Okay, this card's an odd one. Because I saw a Cade's video, I think, that showed some weird combo things with this card. While the Exchange of the Spirit is in your graveyard, your opponent cannot activate effects in the graveyard or special summon monsters from the graveyard. Fucking Exchange of the Spirit. This thing. If both players have 15 or more cards in their graveyard, pay 1,000 life points, swap the cards in the graveyard with the cards in their deck. This is an absolute meme card. I've seen it a couple of times as a meme. And there's this trap card that just combos with it? Is this like some lore thing? I didn't know this was even a Gravekeeper card. Like, is this a Gravekeeper card? Where's this lore come from? Alright. It is lore. You can only use each of the following effects once per of Gravekeeper's. You can only use each of the following effects of Gravekeeper's Trap once per turn. During the main phase, you can discard one card, add one Gravekeeper's or Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Earth Fairy. I assume these guys are Earth Fairy. Here they are. During your opponent's draw phase before their normal draw, if this card is already face up on the field, declare one card name. Look at the cards drawn for their normal draw, and if it was a declared card, send it to the graveyard? That's so specific! That is so specific. Alright, so I can see the, I can see the second effect might be usable just as a search card, since you can search these dudes. But these cards are like, is there any hand traps in the Ishizu stuff? Or are we just searching for, like, what Earth Fairies are good in our hand? I don't think Orange Light is he's a light monster, right? Maybe it's kind of the name. Kelbeck's a hand trap? This dude? I guess we'll go through him in a second. So I guess I can search for that then, I guess? Yeah, it seems pretty bad. Although I'm pretty certain I heard Decade say that he actually seen a few people playing it, so... Like, who? Where was this being played? What's the card called? Gravekeeper's Trap, or something. There it is. Gravekeeper Trap. Oh. We still got the tournament filter on. There's quite a few people playing it, actually. Obviously, these are all the tier element decks, but what the hell's a what is that? What is this thing? Is that an archetype? Being shut the opponent's graveyard despite staying there? Wait, what is it? I thought it needs the other card for its lock. Wait, so I'm confused. What is it? Why are people playing? Why is someone playing this card? Why is he playing it at 1? Is it literally just for the search? Like, no one's playing the meme card with it, right? Okay, this guy's playing it. Okay. Okay, a couple people are actually playing it. Okay. I guess it's actually a viable option. I see quite a few people playing it. Alright, I guess it's actually not a meme card. Some people have been playing it in tournament topping lists, so I guess, sure. It's a name to set with Medora. They were playing the Ghana, just high rolling. Fair enough. Alright. Well, there you go. If you want to run it, you can. A lot of people aren't, but a lot of people also are. And these are in actual tournament topping lists, so it must actually be a lot better than I thought it was. I thought it was just a pure meme, but I guess just a search for a hand trap is good enough, and at best you can run the high rolling exchange of the spirit combo, which just seems hella gamble, but sure. Just a garnet. Alright. Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. If there are 2 or more different monster types among the level 10 or higher monsters on the field, shuffle all cards except this one from both players' hands, fields, and graveyard into the deck. Each player draws 5 cards. Okay. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Crystal Beast monster and 1 field spell from your deck to your hand, and that's the important part of the card. The rest of it doesn't matter too much. The second part's what matters. The second part is why we're playing Foolish Burial Goods of this card. Because this card lets us search for Necro Valley. You activate your... wherever it is. You activate your Foolish Burial Goods, put this thing in your graveyard, and we now have a search for Necro Valley. Oh, and of course a Crystal Beast monster as well. So this card is very good. But its first effect, I don't think you'll ever get to activate in the standard Crystal Beast because we're not going for the big meme. You're just playing Conclave Control, which I don't think ever gets 2 level 10s out. Yeah, so I think the first effect will probably never get used, but the second effect actually is usable. Unless your opponent is playing some massive ass monsters. Yeah, banger card though. Yeah, it's just a conclave control, you ain't scanning that other stuff out. But double search is pretty crazy to think about. Alright. Crystal Boon. Special summon up to 2 Crystal Beast monster cards from your spell and trap card zone. If you do, gain life points equal to the total original attack. Okay, if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone with this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, exile the top card of your deck, and if it's a Crystal Beast monster, either add it to your hand or special summon it, otherwise send it to the graveyard. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad. The fact it's a trap means it's bad? I mean, we're talking about this thing? Because, no. Because we just said it, we literally sending this to the graveyard with goods. That's poggers. But this one's big bad. This one doesn't actually have a decent enough graveyard effect to warrant using it. Wait, what the... Wait. Oh, it's this different card. What the hell? Okay. Exchange of Despair and Hope. Okay. So why would this card be the one that combos with the trap card? Why would they make it the old one? Anyway, if you control 3 or more Earth-faring monsters, send as many monsters on the field as possible to the graveyard. Okay. Then each player can special summon monsters from their opponent's graveyard to the field. What? Unsummon monsters sent to their opponent. What is this? If a monster will special summon its effect in exchange of the spirits in your graveyard, you can set one trap directly from your deck. What is this card? What the hell? So if you have 3 monsters on your field, you can send them all to the graveyard, then your opponent can summon them all back to their field. Well, I hope the monsters you have on your field are pretty shit. What is this thing? This card is so shit. There's no way you're playing this. There's no chance you're playing this. Just wipe your opponent's entire field and summon them all back to your field. Huge strat. Big combo. Let your opponent summon an insane board so it can become your board. Wow, what a strat. Hope they don't summon any negates beforehand or any ways to remove this card. That'd be a... and hope the monsters that you have in your field are complete dog shit. This is a dueling staple. Mate, we barely even got 3 zones to play 3 Earth-faring monsters. Moving on. Okay, Blast held by Destiny, but the card name is Blast held by Fate. That's not how that works, anyway. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy... Wait, this is the same as the other card, is it? When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the one monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. And if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, then if Exchange of the Spirit is not in your graveyard, you take damage. If this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, add it to your hand. Right. Battle Trap, so garbage. But I like the fact that if it happens to get sent to the graveyard, you can add it to your hand. So, like, you can chuck it in a grass deck, and that's pretty pog. You know? Like, honestly, in a Grass's Greener deck, I wouldn't mind you playing this card just because it's just a free card. But outside of that, I would never play it. Even in a standard milling deck, I'd say it has to be specifically Grass for me to care. And even then, I really wouldn't care too much because it's a battle trap. We don't like battle traps. If this card did anything but when you're... Like, if it wasn't specifically when your opponent declared an attack, like, you just use this whenever, it would actually be insane. So... Yeah, free discard at least. So you can literally add this thing to your hand from the graveyard with your grass effect, and then you can just discard it. For whatever effect. Yeah, this is a free card in a grass deck, but otherwise you'd never want to use it. It's absolute, yeah. Could be worse though, could be worse. Alright. Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. Oh my god. Quick play. If you control an ultimate crystal monster, activate one or both of the following effects and resolve in sequence, or reveal one ultimate crystal monster in your hand and activate one of the following effects. Take one Rainbow Bridge card or one Rainbow Refraction from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. If you control an ultimate crystal monster, okay. we seen Rainbow Refraction yet? Which one's Rainbow Refraction? Is it a monster? What's Rainbow Refraction? So we're familiar with the other card. What's Rainbow Refraction? Refraction. This thing? If a monster you control whose original name is Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dart Dragon activates effect this turn, spell somebody. Okay. Unless there's a monster treated as Rainbow Dragon. So to summon any number of crystals monsters with different names from your deck. Okay, well. I don't think we're going down the Rainbow Dragon line, so we're probably not using this thing. But the search for Rainbow Bridge is pretty sick, because Rainbow Bridge is just search, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, it's just your search. Add one Crystal Beast, one trap card from your deck to your hand. Which can then search for the search for Rainbow. You can search for a search for a search to then grab your whatever it is. Where's the card? I don't see it here. Is it not called Rainbow? It's a cool Crystal something. There it is, Crystal Bond. I assume you can search for this. Right? Can it? Maybe it can't. Hey, it's not a Crystal Spawn Trap card, so I can't search for it. No, never mind. Okay. So what Spawn Trap card are you searching then? Wait, no, it is a crystal. I'm so dumb. Either way. The search that searches the search. Yeah, there it is. Alright, what's the second effect? I didn't even read it. Spiral summon crystal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or spawn trap card zones. Wow, its second effect is also good. Wait, if you control an ultimate crystal monster, activate one or both of the following effects and resolve in sequence. Or reveal one ultimate crystal monster in your hand and activate one of the following effects. Yeah, I've confused myself. Why are we choosing to only activate one of these? Is there a reason we need to reveal? What's the reveal part for? For both needed on the field? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Okay, I see. Alright, cool. Absolutely bang a card. Yeah, I see. I didn't realize the Yeah, so you have one you can use in hand, one you can use in the field. That's the advantage of wanting to only use one. Alright, moving on. Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Okay, during your main phase, you can normal summon one Crystal monster in addition to your normal summon or set. Already a banging start. You only use each of the following effects of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one Crystal Beast card you control in your hand. And if you do, add one Crystal Spell and Trap from your deck to your hand. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your Spell and Trap card zone, even during the damage step, you can target one card your opponent controls, return both. Damn, they tried really hard to make Crystal Beast a good archetype, didn't they? This card is stacked. Gives you a double summon, it gives you a search, and it gives you a removal effect. This is like one of the most stacked cards I've ever read. It's so stacked. They just like chuck everything on it. Give it its search, give it everything. They really tried to make this deck good. No wonder it has a few tournament toppings. What a crazy card. It's like you get this thing out, you get your search off, right? If your trap ever gets activated and pops your own Crystal Beast, returns it to the zone, then you just get a removal with it. So you get a pop and a remove from this thing. If you have like the negate trap. End board IP and the new fusion? No. We're not playing the new fusion. End board conclave control. Okay, we don't need this shit. We don't need that shit. Yeah, this card's kind of crazy. Even during the damage step. The Crispy's problem the moment they get actually good monsters, the archetype becomes uncontrollably broken. True. It's almost like the support they've given is insane. So they have to make it so the actual monsters are still shit. I haven't actually read this card yet. I assume this card must be okay if the other one's good. But I'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. Alright, Scatter Fusion. So I'm afraid this thing has the word fusion in the name, so it's a card I'm probably not going to be running, but we'll read it anyway. If your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon one non-rock... Oh, sorry, I thought this was a Gem Knight card, because this isn't a Gem Knight card, this is a fucking... this isn't a Crystal Beast card, this is a Gem Knight card. Wait a minute. If your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon non-rock Gem Knight fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your deck as fusion material. Okay. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest of this turn, except Gem Knight monsters. Alright, so this card, you see, it's pretty crazy to read it. Until you realize, again, we're trying to FTK. This is a card that's not used going first. So are we really trying to use this card? You know? Like, again, it's pretty good if you want to play going second Gem Knight. But I like to go first, and I like to FTK. So I don't think this helps that strategy in any way. But it's honestly not a bad card, especially in Master Duel, where if you want to go second, you can probably go second every single game, because everyone chooses to go first, so... This card is, like, basically always going to be active. There are very few times when it's not going to be active in Master Duel. But, yeah. Or do you give your opponent a monster on turn 1? That's way too much effort. There's very few cards that just go to your opponent on turn 1. And the ways to do it are just, like, very scuffed. There's a reason when you're doing, like, FTK decks with, like, Bishy Bulk and whatever the hell his name is, Ooga Booga Man, you're normally using that, Transverse dude. Is it Transverse? It's not. Oh, yeah, it's Transverse. There it is. You're using this thing. I'm not making two links. I'm not making a link 2 to swap a monster to my opponent's field to get a fusion summon off. But yeah. So I guess, again, if you want to play Gem Knight going second, here's some cool Gem Knight going second cards. But in general, Gem Knight's an FTK deck, and this doesn't help the FTK strat, so it's probably not going to be run in terms of that. Everyone's just going to be playing standard FTK stuff, I imagine. Rose Garden? Actually, Rose Garden's that field spell, right? That's actually not too bad. Wait, how do you... Is it not spelled like that? Wait, is Rose spelled with a Z? No way. Wait, how do I spell Rose? It's not spelled... I know that card. Is it not called Rose Garden? Huh? Oh, it's a Black Garden. It's this thing, right? If a monster is special summon except by the effect of blah blah half its attack, then the control of that monster spell summons on Rose Garden to their opponent's field. This card isn't that bad in combination with it. Maybe.
Card games on motorcycle.
That's like a 2-card combo then. But I guess this does help the FTK, right? And we do search for this thing as part of the FTK, don't you? Maybe you don't. I know this helps a lot of FTK decks, I just don't know if this is part of the Gem Knight FTK. I've never actually played the Gem Knight FTK myself. Is this part of it? Like, in general? I don't know. Yeah, I know it's searchable through the Synchro. I've used it to FTK before, but I haven't used the Gem Knight FTK. I don't remember this card being part of it. But I guess it could be if you wanted to. The FTK doesn't use it? It's used in some variants? I guess if you are using that variant, it makes Scatter Fusion useful, I guess. I don't know. Guess we'll see. I'll read the I'll go through the the spreadsheet later to determine. Alright, has ever, just out of pure curiosity, has there ever been a Gem Knight topping ever in this fucking... What am I doing? Has there ever actually been a Gem Knight topping anywhere? And that's a no. Oh, that's unlucky. Well, unlucky. Moving on. Crystal Aegis. Target one Crystal Beast monster you control, destroy it. Then special summon Crystal Beast token with the same original type, attribute, level, and attack and defense. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your Spell and Trap card zone, this card is in your graveyard. You can banish this card, special summon Crystal Beast monster from your Spell and Trap card zone. Right. I assume this is just to make it easier to get out your boss monster if you're playing that variant, because it just gives you more Crystal Beast stuff. But I just don't think we care about it, right? It just gives you a free, like, token thing. I don't see, like, a massive use for it, really. Aegis is trash? It does seem pretty trash. Doesn't seem like it does anything. It's like, hey, here's a free token, I guess. But I don't think we care about a free token in Conclave Control. We're trying to just control things. Can't even use my token to go into my Babushka Pass, how you pronounce it. Babushka Pass. What's even the point? Not an awful card though, I guess, but it seems pretty bad. During the time the Gem Knight FTK was active in the TCG, there was also a penned FTK going around as well. Oh. Is it unlucky if Gem Knight's FTK doesn't top? Do we ever want it? Okay. That is true, Harriet. That is true. To be fair, like, Gem Knight's, like, their entire, like, thing is this stupid FTK it does. When, like, there's so many different decks in the game you can just FTK with, just if you want to. Like, if you want to play Dino, you can just make an FTK variant of it, and it's just infinitely more consistent than the Gem Knight one is. And it's probably more, like, protected too, because it has Misc in it. It's like, I just don't see why Gem Knight FTK is even a thing. It's so bad compared to just other FTKs. Like, even now, there's an FTK that you can do with one of the decks that's being released, right? Because I was actually looking at it not too long ago. Maybe that was... I thought there was a deck that was FTKing was... Either way, there's just no reason to play it. There's just so many other FTKs in the game. It's like, why play this one? Then again, you can say that for most decks. Why play this deck over playing this deck? But yeah, I don't know. I guess because FTK is always like the same kind of strategy, so why don't you play just the same strategy in something else? I don't know. FTK with Dino's Pog? It's not Pog. I'm pretty sure I have a video on my channel me doing it with Red Eyes. I think the Red Eyes loop thing where it burns your opponent infinitely. The punchline FTK is that Konami keeps pushing it to be an OTK deck, but no matter how much they do about the FTK, it's still the best way to play it. In Series Samurai, they have an FTK. No, I swear I was looking at it earlier. I don't remember what I was looking at though. I was looking at something in particular. I swear it was something to do with the new support that was reading in-game for this. But I don't know.
I like Train FTKS Choo Choo.
Train FTK? Isn't that an OTK? I think Train does FTK, right? You can't FTK with a train on the first turn. That needs a battle phase. There is no battle phase on the first turn. Unless there is an FTK I don't know about. I guess they have a bunch of big cannon burn things. Is Train actually FTK? I thought Train is a going second deck. Hey, thanks for the $2, buddy. Appreciate it. Alright, let's move on anyway. Gravity Balance. Target 2 of your... Wait, this card is always treated as a G Golem card. Okay. Target 2 of your Earth monsters with the same name that are banished and or in the graveyard. Special summon both in defense position, but change their attack and defense to 0. Their effects are negated, also destroy them during the end phase. If a G-Golem monster you control be destroyed, battle, or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Okay, so if this is searchable, it might be okay. Purely because it could be a really good combo piece. Like if you're just doing your whatever combo this deck has, I don't know what combo it is. Then you could search for this and bring back 2 more cards from grave to continue comboing. So it's a good extender card, but only really if it's searchable. I don't think I'd like want to just hard draw this thing. I don't know, is this like people playing in on G-Golem? The 2 G-Golem players out there? I think I already looked this up earlier. I want to see it just... Do you actually play this card? It's great. It's a great extender card. Maroon Force, FTKs and trains. Okay. Is it searchable though? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see when we go through the rest of the cards to see if it's searchable. If it's not searchable, it seems kind of meh. But I guess extenders are extenders. It's basically Monster Reborn. I guess the whole purpose of your deck is to get these G-Golems on the field and get them in the graveyard. You'll generally want this anyway. So I guess maybe you do want to run that 3. G-Golem uses a Mathmech extension. I think Mathmech uses a G-Golem extension. Is that how I remember it right? We'll see. We'll go through the rest of the cards and see. Doesn't seem too bad. It's just a good way to make more monsters and more links and whatever. It's just a great extender. I want to see some good starters though. That's the real thing. I want to see some good starters that aren't just open the 1 Mathmech card and play Mathmech Smile, you know? This guy isn't even playing the Mathmech. Hello? That guy's playing Mathmech Dino Scrap. I don't know what's going on there. What's its name? I would have forgotten it. There it is, circular. Sick G-Golem deck, dude. One's a 1 G-Golem card. That's the second one, actually. Alright. G-Golem's just boring as fuck. I mean, in my opinion, I find most Cyberse decks to be boring as shit. Like, every single Cyberse deck, literally every single one, there literally isn't one yet that I can think of outside of maybe Marine Cess, because it actually locks you to water, that doesn't just end on, like, when you go to your second, or when you go to your turn 3, that is just ending going into, you know, your, It'll make it easy to see the cards. It doesn't just end on going, hey, here's my access code talker, I summoned off my update jammer in combination with my transcode talker. Like, this is literally every single Cyberse deck's going second or going third play. Like, when you go after turn 1, pass back to you, this is what you go for. It's so boring. I don't know why every single one does this. Why there should actually just be more locks on Cyberse cards to make them force them to use their in-art-type stuff. It's just so dumb that everyone just does this. It's such a boring way to play. Like, at least Marine Cess locks you to water, so you can't really do this. You can occasionally if you sort of, like, troll to do it, but, like, it's just no real point. But I don't think... It's not even like a case of ban access. It's a case of there needs to be better card design on Konami's part to make you actually want to do something else going second. It isn't just this. Or just ban Update Jammer. That's the one that actually needs banning. If you ban Update Jammer, all of a sudden this combo is nowhere near as effective. You can obviously still go into things like Access Code Talker, but it's actually used for removal, not just be like, hey, I remove, and then I just one-shot your ass, you know? It's just a boring way to play. Salad do it, fucking Mathmech do it, Code Talker do it. Like, is there actually any, like, Cyberse deck other than Marine Cess that doesn't do this? And I feel like this deck's probably going to be exactly the same. I didn't see any locks on here that stop you going into it. What do you expect? Is there win con? Well, I expect decks to have other win cons that are inside their own archetype. Saying Cyberse isn't an archetype. It's like that's just the type of card, not the actual archetype. It's like saying all machines are part of the same archetype, you know, it's just not a thing. That's like a thing for Cyberse though for some reason. Like Marine Cess is an archetype, not the fact that they're Cyberse. And that's how like all Cyberse decks should be in my opinion. Rather than everyone just going into this same OTK combo. It's sad that Sad... Yeah, I agree. I think Sad should actually just have something else to do going second. It's so lame. I mean, Earth Machines is a deck, but it's not like a deck by like name. Like it's only called Earth Machines because the community named it Earth Machine. I wouldn't say Earth Machine is like an actual like Konami archetype. It's just that's just the combo they put together, Earth and Machines. It's not actually an archetype. It's like just a community named thing. What about dinos? What do you mean and dinos? And I feel like this problem is like so niche though. Like if you want to fix it, they just ban this card, and then all of a sudden the cards are. And even like I'm not saying like this is like some broken combo. That's not what I'm annoyed about. I just don't. In my personal opinion, I just find Cyberse decks boring because they all do this, all of them. So it's like no matter which Cyberse deck I'm playing, I'm just gonna end up doing the same combo. So it doesn't really matter which one I play. So I just find all of them boring, which is why the only one I enjoy is Marine Cess because they can't do this. It locks you to water. So yeah. That was a random tangent to go on that had nothing to do with the stream, but there you go. Completely random tangent. Alright, moving on. G Golem Pebble Dog. Alright. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can take one G Golem Pebble Dog from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Okay. Also, you cannot special summon monsters this turn except Cyberse monsters. Okay, not a bad card. This gives you just a straight up start with 2 monsters, then go into whatever. If this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can add one G Golem card from your deck to your hand and has a search attached to it if sent from hand, which I assume there must be something in here that sends from hand. Okay, that seems like a pretty good card. I assume we're playing this in G Golem. That seems pretty good. I really wish there was actually some G Golem decks to look at. Oh, this guy's playing it. There you go. There's no tournament topping decks. I'm just kind of looking at the random ass deck lists, and looking at random deck lists leads to a lot of interesting stuff. But it seems like everyone is sort of playing this card, so it seems good. Good doggo. He seems pretty good. I'm assuming there'll be a card in here somewhere that sends from hand. Then that'll make it even better. Alright, ultra rare doggo? Maybe. Probably not, though. I think the ultra rare slots are probably going to be saved for these dudes. Also for these guys. Actually, it's already confirmed which one's mainly an ultra rare. Oh, thank God this thing's an ultra rare, so maybe the other Crystal Beast stuff won't be. I mean, I say thank God, but it means when I pull this card, I will swear my ass off. But at least it's not making the other Crystal Beast ultra rare, so I don't need to get them. Actually, is Pegasus already you are? Are you already you are? You're rare rarity, Pog? Maybe the searchers are. Rainbow Bond's ultra rare. Ugh. Bond's ultra rare, and you're gonna need these dudes. Oh god, that actually is a lot of ultra rares. Oh god. That's painful. I really want to build that deck. Anyway, moving on. Alright. G Golem Rock Hammer. If this card's in your hand, you can discard one other Cyberse monster, which can be this dude. This card's level will be reduce this card's level by 2 and 10 this turn. Okay. You contribute this card, special summon 3 G Golem tokens in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters this turn except Cyberse monsters. Okay, so this thing, you discard a card so you can normal summon it, and then normal summon bring out 3 tokens to then use to go into link plays. Which works pretty well, I guess. I guess in G Golem you might want to play. You'll probably play this. It's pretty good. It's like a really good normal summon. It's also a normal summon that won't get Ash Blossomed at least. Still get Impermed and Veiled, but at least not an Ash Blossom target for a change. And yeah, you can send Dongo. Very pog. Yeah, it seems like most people seem to be playing. Or these, it's so hard to look at deck lists when they're made by people that are like not trying to top tournaments or anything. There's random ass stuff. It's like it's so hard to know whether or not to take them seriously. It's like I guess these are deck lists that exist, but they're all built by just random ass people. But it seems pretty good. Alright. Ajido the Ancient Sentinel. So our first Ishizu card. Limited to 1 in TCG and in OCG. And in Master Duel, limited to 2. Okay. If this card is sent from the hand or deck to the opponent's or to your opponent's grave. Oh no, if a card is sent from the hand or deck to your opponent's graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon one level 4 Earth Fairy monster from your graveyard. If this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. Each player sends the top 5 cards of their deck to the graveyard. Then if Exchange its Spirit is in your graveyard, you can send 5 more cards from the top of the other player's deck to the graveyard. Okay. Cool. So this card is just Giga Mills, and if it's in your hand, it can special summon itself. Okay, well I see why this card's pretty good. This card just Giga Mills. Holy shit. Send 5. You mill into this thing, it just sends more. It continues milling. Look at the old version. I'm good. All right. Well, I don't think it needs much explanation as to why people were playing this card or will play this card. I think that the only thing to think about though with the Ishizu stuff is this is like a tier element deck. Outside of tier element, it's not really a whole lot people were playing. I guess Adamancipator mills and zombie decks mill. Do we even have any other decks that mill? Shadow? I guess? Shadow? What decks play grass at the moment? Grass is now limited, so... They're crazy grass cards, though. Actually, if you mill any of these, you're just going to mill your entire deck. Thunder Dragon. Dragon Link. Shadow, Phantom Knight, I guess. Lightsworn? I don't think many people play Lightsworn. BA, they don't play well with each other. Yeah, just nukes your own cards. Who needs grass when you have the Ishizus? Because grass just goes well with them. Even more winning. Huge win more. Sure, I have no idea what deck I'm going to be trying to play with it. I'm thinking I might try Shadow, but I don't really know what else I want to play with the new Ishizu stuff. Because I want to make a video on it, right? But I don't know what decks to like even do without tier. So I guess... Because I don't want to play Adamancipator. I find Adamancipator really boring. So I think I'd like to play maybe Shadow, I guess. I don't know. Could do zombie, I guess. I've got a structure deck now. Pog. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure where we're going to use the Ishizu cards until the stuff arrives. Wait, Adamancipator Ishizu is in a deck? Oh. I don't know what we're going to use it in then. Like I said, I'm probably going to try Shadow, but Shadow is like an option, but I don't know what else. Alright, Advanced Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. If Advanced Dark is not in the field zone, send this monster to the graveyard. Oh. All Advanced Crystal Beast monsters you control gain 400 attack and defense. Also, all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 400 attack and defense. If this card's just garbage. If this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can face up blah blah. Wait, this card is just awful. Huh? Wait, does Conclave Control even run a single one of these Advanced Crystal Beast monsters? Like, any of them? I don't remember seeing one. Are none of them run? No? So they released all these monsters and nobody plays them? Oh my god, how bad are they? Yeah, they're not run anywhere. They're literally opting to run the generic old ones. Oh my god. What the hell? Are they really that bad? What the shit? It's just because they got this stupid, the first part of the thing where they need the field spell to be usable? I guess their effects are also garbage, but the fact they nuke themselves without a field spell is probably pretty troll as well. What the? Okay. So now we've got Pegasus. So Pegasus is the good one for standard Crystal Beast. If Advanced Dark is not on the field, send this monster to the graveyard. So even destroy. If this card is summoned, you can place one of your advanced Crystal Beast monsters that is banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell. If this card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it face up in spell and trap, blah blah blah. I mean, this one's at least a search for one of those dudes again, which is kind of like what Pegasus does, only it sends itself to the graveyard if you have the field spell active, which no one's playing the field spell, so... Damn, I can't believe they actually, like... And this card doesn't seem that bad, just, you have to have the field spell to use, like, actually, like, have it as being actually usable, which is odd. What a weird requirement to give. Have to have this stupid field spell active for these cards to be actually usable. I saw Jesse play Pure Crystal Beast. The turn 1 is insane. Well, you have so many other wombo combo decks in the game already. True. You should read the field spell. I think it's in Duel Links. I think I have read it. All Crystal Beast monsters in the field and the graveyard become dark. If an ultimate crystal monster attacks, negate the effects of the attack target during the battle phase. If a Crystal Beast monster control battles and you would take damage, you can send one Crystal Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard and you take no battle damage from that battle. Even the effects of this card is fucking rubbish. The effects are so bad. That's so like, ugh. You're literally just using it for its name. And I guess to make everything dark for your dude that needs dark ones. I think it was the guy that used dark, I don't remember. Either way, I find that kind of amusing. Like, they released all these monsters. They literally released... Imagine being Konami, right? And you release an entire retrain of every single Crystal Beast monster. All of them get retrained. And none of them get played. Isn't that insane? Like, the old Crystal Beast stuff was so bad, they had to retrain it. And then they still don't get touched. Like, think about, like, compare this to the Ishizu stuff. Aren't all these Ishizu cards retrains of the old ones? It's like, isn't there already isn't there already... Yeah, they're literally retrains of old cards, and they make them insane. The Crystal Beast, that is like, nah, you can stay dog shit. I'm gonna reprint you and make you still shit. I think they made them with the intention of them being good. Well, they can make them at least playable. Like, I don't think this is even considered playable. It seems like awful. I guess to be fair, I would say this card isn't exactly unplayable. So I guess these guys are playable, I guess. But just weird, there's like a variant of Crystal Beast that's better than this variant of Crystal Beast, when this is the one that's meant to be retrained. Like, why is it that the Conclave control variant using the old Crystal Beast is better than the like retrained ones? It sounds like it's bad like design from Konami's standpoint. They could have done way better. I just can't imagine like designing an entire archetype and making them worse after designing them. That just sounds so stupid. Anyway. It says favoritism. Favoritism, but for the old ones? There's no favoritism between like the old ones. I just don't understand why they did do that. It sounds so weird. Oh, you mean favoritism between Ishizu and Crystal Beast? Yeah, I guess. Alright. Advanced Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. Advanced blah blah. Okay, same as before. Oh wait, let's search for Advanced Dark. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add one Advanced Dark from your deck to your hand. This is the search for the field spell. Once per turn, you target an Advanced Crystal Beast you control, either return it to hand or place it on top of the deck. Okay. Do they all just have the same effects of the old ones as well? They just mimic them? If advanced targets, blah blah blah. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or affect the targets, your advanced, blah, you can negate the activation. Okay, so it can protect your advanced crystal beast and your field spell. Once per turn, when your advanced crystal beast monster is targeted for attack, you can negate the attack. Okay. I mean, I'm just kind of skimming these cards now because we know they're absolute dog shit. Okay, Medora the Sword Oracle. Alright, so again, limited to 1, but OCG limited to 3. And in Master Duel, it won't be limited. Okay. You can discard one other Earth Fairy monster, spell summon this card from your hand, then place one Gravekeeper's Trap from your deck face up in your Spell and Trap card zone. Okay, so that's why people are playing it at 1, because it's searchable. And then it's actually just a search card then. Did it say face up? Yeah, it is it's face up. Oh, this card's so playable then. It's just deciding if you want to play the meme trap card or not. Hey, this card's actually crazy. Okay. I like. Sure. So we can use this to search for this. And we should then search for any of your other dudes. Wait, is Gravekeeper's Ishizu a deck? Is that actually something that could be playable? Maybe that's the meme I'll make a video on before the tier stuff gets released. Is Gravekeeper Ishizu a playable deck? Does it do anything? I've played Gravekeeper and Master Duel once. I combined it with Dark Magician. What's it like with the new Ishizu support? Is it actually like a functional deck? No, lol. Necro Valley negates the Ishizu stuff? That'd be fairly dumb. That'd be very dumb. Wait, does the Ishizu stuff summon from grave? So far it's only been from hand. I haven't read the rest of them yet. Exchange the Spirit Turbo. I'm not playing pure Ishizu. I'm not going to go that level on Copium. No way am I going into that level of Copium. I just find it funny if it actually doesn't. I go, keep going. Okay. Keldo the Sacred Protector, who is limited to. Also, Gravekeeper has a way to make Necro Valley not affect your own graveyard. But isn't that for only Gravekeeper monsters, though? Alright. You discard one other Earth Fairy monster, spell summon this card from your hand, then add Exchange of the Spirit, or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. How many of these cards mention Exchange of the Spirit? All of them? I guess like all of them mention it. So just search for like any of them. So I guess that's why a lot of people are playing Exchange of the Spirit, because it's actually a searchable card. I think Ishizu banish themselves? I see. What type of decks run Ishizu? Are they splashable to any deck? Apparently, so they graveyard, anything that sends stuff to graveyard, because most of these cards when sent to the graveyard just mill more cards, which is already like a giga bonus. Alright, anyway. Quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, the type 3 cards in any graveyard, or up to 5 if exchanging spirits on the field. Shuffle them into the deck. So this card's also can be used as a DD crow, I guess. Pseudo DD crow, because it gives them back, but not awful. It's actually pretty crazy. This card, you can use like a... You can literally use this as a DD crow. Goddamn. DD crow for 3. No wonder people are playing Exo Sister. Alright, moving on. Kelbeck the Ancient Vanguard. If a card is sent from the hand or deck to your opponent's graveyard, except during the damage step, you can target one Spirit Summon monster your opponent controls, Spirit Summon this card from your hand, then return that monster to the hand. Oh, he's a hand trap as well. If this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you activate this effect. Each player sends the top 5 cards of the deck to the graveyard. Then if exchange of spirits in your graveyard, you can set one trap from your deck. Graveyard. You can set one trap from your graveyard. Okay, there we go. Good English, Harry. Good stuff. Alright. Cool stuff. So just another milling card. It's also a really, really strong hand trap. The fact you could literally play this in like any archetype is just a hand trap is just a crazy thought. It's like most decks do send from hand or deck. In some form or another. Is this card being limited? Yeah, it's limited too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try Shadow first. I think. So the deck I'm thinking of that before the tier element stuff's released, I think I'm gonna try Shadow. I know, chat. What are you gonna be playing with? These Ishizu cards. What decks are you guys running with them on release? Are you guys all whipping out the pure variants, playing pure Ishizu? Grass is bad in tier because 60 card decks are way too inconsistent. I think it'll be fine. Especially if Grass is at 3, but Grass is at 2 and Mastered alright, so maybe they won't do it. They will collect dust in my collection. Hey, won't be collecting dust for too much longer. Tier's probably next month, so won't have to wait too long. Diviner can send the Ishizu. Okay. I will skip them and save everything for tier. Well, you kind of need these for tier. That's how that works. You think Drytron can use them? Kind of, I guess. I guess they do someone from Grave, I guess. They are fairies. So they do work with Mr. Orange, don't they? Yeah, I guess they work with Orange too. You cross a 3 Diviner for these cards? Okay, okay. You do be cooking, you're cooking. Alright. Let him cook, let him cook. They are used with Mr. Orange, okay. Alright. Chat is completely blocking this card, but I can't be bothered to move chat, so you guys have to live. If your opponent controls a monster... Oh my god, it's another going second card. If your opponent controls a monster, you can discard this card, set one fusion continuous spell directly from your deck. Or you cannot Spirit Summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Gem Knight monsters. Okay, so this gets a hold of your Scatter Fusion. If this card is used as material for a fusion summon and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can add one Gem Knight monster from your graveyard to your hand. Right, they are really trying to make go on second Gem Knight a thing, aren't they? They're trying really hard. Konami, play Gem Knight O2K, alright? They're trying so hard. Can't even play Dark Ruler, they have to play Droplet or something. God. Set Brilliant Fusion. Is Brilliant Fusion continuous? It's not continuous, is it? Oh, it is continuous. Oh. Oh, you just use Brilliant. Oh. Okay, sure. I don't know what to say about these cards. I mean, they're honestly not bad. I guess going second Gem Knight's like a viable option. It's just like, you have to go second then is the issue. You can't use Dark Ruler because you're trying to OTK. So you have to go second. You have to use like Kaijus and Droplet. Can't use evenly matched because you're trying to kill them. So you can't skip your battle phase. He can't use the two best going second cards are probably Dark Roll and Evenly Matched and Drop Little. Those are the three, I guess. I guess you can count hand traps as well. Lightning Storm. I don't even like Lightning Storm too much because most decks don't even care about Lightning Storm. Most decks set up at least one negate for the spell card. And you have to play through whatever other board they've got. Plus you have to play through back row and monsters. You have to choose. And most people put their weak monsters in defense. They know you got Lightning Storm, so put them in defense. This tech just seems like it seems so hard to make decks go second that are specifically trying to kill via battle. If they don't mind passing back, then they're generally okay. And Nimron's probably just an easier way to go second. Just play Nimron, you can actually fit in some more back row. Some more back row hate. So you can get through back row and actually kill your opponent. I just don't know what Gem Knight does. I guess they do extend a lot more than I'm sort of thinking of. I haven't seen many people try to play Gem Knight outside of FTKing, so maybe they do a bunch of stuff more than I'm thinking of. That's right on stop defense. Oh yeah, there's the counter. Stop defense into Lightning Storm. That's the fucking combo. Yeah, Lava Golem as well. Do they need their normal? I don't think they need their normal. There's a lot. They do run that plant dude, the one that actually looks like this one. Right, but I don't actually think they need their normal. When's the next box coming in? Duel Links? Next month? You've got way away yet, buddy. We just had a box. They can probably play Lava Golem. I don't actually there's probably some Gem Knight decks I can look at in Master Duel meta actually. Because people actually do play this deck. Surprisingly enough. But they can actually show FTK variants. I don't know what a going second Gem Knight deck even looks like. Alright, let's move on. Let's check out the Advanced Crystal Beast Ruby blah blah blah. If Advanced Dark is not on the field, send it to the graveyard. If this face-up card's destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it face-up spell trap, blah 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 blah. If this card's treated as a continuous spell, you can Spirit Summon this card. You can Spirit Summon as many Advanced Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your spell and trap card zone. It doesn't even summon the normal Crystal Beasts. Yeah, I can see why no one's playing any of these advanced ones. They're all so bad. Like, I'm never going to be bothered reading these last two, because they're probably just going to be reprint effects. Once per turn, quick affecting target monster on the field, change its battle position. Wow. And the other one is... your advanced crystal beast monsters can attack directly. The battle damage is halved. Alright, well, we've already spoken about the fact that nobody's playing any of these in Conclave Control, so these cards are completely irrelevant, and you can just forget about them. Yeah, we're just gonna play actual Conclave Control. We're not gonna play these other Crystal Beasts. They're not needed. We're just gonna use all these other brand new support, like the Miracle and the this dude and this dude. All banger cards. Alright, Brilliant Rose. You can discard one Gem Knight or Melodious card. Melodious support? Spirit Summon this card from your hand. You can use the effect of Brilliant Rose once per turn. Once per turn, you can send one Gem Knight or Melodious monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card's name, type, and attribute become the sent monster's original name, type, and attribute. Okay. Now this seems like it might actually be useful. Is this used in the FTK variant? Surely this is used. This seems very usable. I'm gonna place a bet that it probably is. Brilliant Rose. Let's have a look. Let's see if anyone's playing this card. It seems like it's something we care about. Mate. How many are playing it? This guy was playing it. I think the... Seems like a lot of people want to play the card. Not FTK? Melodious. I don't. Is Melodious even like a deck that exists? I have never seen a Melodious deck in Mastered or. Alright, this card seems pretty good though. I'm not sure what extra deck cards you're sending, but generally they like copying their extra deck, so they probably like this card, I imagine. I have to I'd have to check with the spreadsheet later to determine if people actually care about this card a lot, but as far as I know, they like copying their extra deck, so they probably would like this card. Magical Mallet. This guy's playing Black Garden actually, which would make that other card fairly usable. Fusion spell. He actually is playing Scatter Fusion. Okay. So if you play Black Garden, you can play Scatter Fusion. And we have got to search for Black Garden, which is probably why we're playing an Emancipator. Probably no other tuners in here, right? So you're trying to play the Emancipator to go into Garden Rose, search for this, then we can use Scatter Fusion. Okay. Melodious appeared in the Dream Mirror solo mode, so I wouldn't be surprised if nobody remembers this. That's a dig at Melodious and a Dream Mirror. God damn, you roasted 2 archetypes with 1 comment. Crazy. Alright. So moving on, this card seems pretty good. Final new card expected. Kurikara Divina. What is this card name? Kurikara Divincarnate. Yes, the waifu. Oh, actually, I've read this card before. Was this card pretty cool? Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by tributing all face-up monsters in the field that activated their effects this turn in your opponent's monster zones. Gains 1,500 attack for each monster tributed to special summon this card. During your end phase, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field. Yes, this card's really cool, actually. As far as I've heard, though, no one plays it because you actually want to get rid of the monsters before they negate all your effects, rather than afterwards. Going second to Bureau at home, yeah. It's like, hey, my entire hand got negated, but it's fine. I'll just summon this dude afterwards. Let's see if she got any tournament play. Any topping tournament play. She might have. She's honestly not a bad card. It's just generally it's better to stop yourself from getting owned rather than getting owned then trying to play afterwards, which is kind of what this card's doing. What's its name? Kurikara. I mean, someone probably tried it in a tournament at least, I assume. Did anyone? Oh, okay, we had some toppings. We had some toppings. But then again, both of them were playing, or one of them was playing, or 2 of them were playing Ishizu, so they're probably going to top anyway. Or 2 of them, sorry. Going second, Pog. Is the guy not even playing Ash Blossom? Yeah, who needs Ash Blossom, I guess? Actually, a lot of T-decks don't even play Ash Blossom, right? They don't even give a shit. God, look how many limits this deck has. Jesus. Well, it has a couple of toppings. People trying to play out the card, but I think these people are probably more just testing it out than anything else. Top 32, second place, not bad. Top 16. I think people are just trying to try out the card, but it turns out it's probably not good enough to actually be run. But hey, if you get if you got a prismatic version of this card, or a whatever it's called, secret version, which is all like glossy and whatever else, like, you know, you could probably keep this deck, keep this card, because it'd be an amazing waifu. You can play in like every deck. Is it better than running just a generic hand trap? Probably not, but it's not awful. By Ash, milling is non-stop, true. Also, milling Ash Blossom probably doesn't feel too good. Yes, it's a good card, but I'd probably only recommend keeping it if you happen to get it as a prismatic. Get really lucky in game. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. Yeah, Royal Rarity, that's the one. If you get a Royal Rare, you keep it. Otherwise, don't bother. Alright, so there's all the new cards expected. Well, what are the thoughts? The thoughts are Crystal Beast will be really fun to play. Really odd you won't play any of their actual retrained monsters though. But Crystal Beast should be fun. Ishizu, I'm not really sure where we're going to play it yet. Some people said Emancipator. I'm probably going to play it in Shadol. But outside of that, there's not really a whole lot of decks to play it in. Zombie, I guess. Any deck that likes milling, I guess, can play it. But there's not really a whole lot of decks that want to just mill their entire deck. So anything that can play grass can probably play these. And these dudes, these G Golems, if you're a Math Mech player, there's a new variant of Math Mech for you to play, but that's probably... They're not really a pure deck. They seem to be just, like, combined with Math Mech, call it a day sort of a deck. So if you already have the Math Mech cards, there's a new variant for you to play if you feel like it. Otherwise, it's probably not really a whole worth going into. And there's your selection pack. Very, very mid, I'd say. Not the kind of selection pack that's going to be a... I'm pretty sure they just chucked the Ishizu stuff in here to get you to buy this pack before Teal Element comes out, because otherwise nobody would buy this pack. I thought that's literally the only reason they're in here. They're like, hey, buy this now, because you know they're going to be good later. Otherwise nobody would have bought this pack. So sure, I guess. New Crystal Beast support. New Crystal Heart. Marine Sis support. Pog. Clueless. Marine. I guess it is actually it is a water monster. Wait a minute. But when are you ever going to use an Earth Link monster? When are you ever using an Earth Link monster and Marine Sis? What's the combo? What's the spice here, buddy? How are we using this card? Somebody tell me, give me the sauce. How are we using that in Marine Sis? Transcode is Earth. Wait, are you trying to... This seems like we're doing it backwards. Isn't transcode the thing you're gonna summon afterwards? This seems like we're doing it in reverse order. That's... Yeah, okay. There you go, there's a transcode for it. Sure. Well, I'm not sure about that one, guys, but hey, you keep cooking. Let him cook. Let him cook, chat. How many archetypes that are left that can come to Master Duel? Infinite. Because by the time one is added to Master Duel, another one's released in the IRL. There's literally infinite. Master Duel will never run out of content. Literally never run out of content. They release as much in IRL as they do in Master Duel, so it's literally infinite. As far as I know, it's infinite. I don't think they release it slower. And if they do release it slower, it's only because they release like more amounts, I'd say. Like they release like small bits of support in Master Duel every month, but in IRL, I think it's every 3 months. They just slam like a massive amount down. They give like entire like box of like 1 billion cards. And there's also like structure decks they release every now and then, like the new Trap Trick one. Master Duel exclusive stuff. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen eventually. We get like one exclusive sort of structure deck before IRL. It's gonna be kind of funny. I thought there was a stop in TCG OCG, so Master will eventually run. A stop? What do you mean a stop? Like I feel like they've always done it, haven't they? If we get a card for OCG, I wouldn't be surprised. Alright. Well anyways, boys, this has been fun. We've talked about the new pack, we've learned lots, and we've come to the conclusion. Probably don't invest in it unless you're a Crystal Beast player. And then maybe just save your ultra crafting material and craft it when you get the Ishizu stuff. And open the Ishizu pack instead. Not the Ishizu pack, the tier pack instead. Alright boys, it's been fun. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. I'll catch you all in 3 days when I release all this stuff. I might do another video between them. Not sure what I'll do though, but might do something. But yeah, I'll have plenty of videos out. I'll probably do Crystal Beast, Gem Knight, and some kind of Ishizu variants. G Golem, I'm not sure about because I don't have any of the math mech stuff. I don't know if I'm going to bother crafting it just for this. But we'll see. I might just want to make more content, so I might just do it anyway. And of course, there'll be a pack opening of watching me suffer as I open a lot of garbage. The usual. Thank you all for watching anyway. I'll catch you all in the next stream. Yeah. Thanks, boys. When's the pack coming out? 3 days. Alright, see